I will try to explain how you can take notes very effectively and very quickly. So here I am in Notion, and I have actually created sections that you can see. So these are the sections I have organized for myself, and as you create an account, you can actually create these folders and organize your first left-hand side sections. For example, here I have like training provided. Inside this I have how to take notes. It would be how to take notes training. It is again the training provided, and inside this, and then inside, so this is like the root element you can think of. And now here what I will do is create another page, and each page will go beneath it, and I'll create notes from there. Now let's say if I have to take a course, for example, if the course is like WordPress, let's say it is WordPress Elementor. So that is the course that I will be taking. Now, in this case, what I can say is that the first one will be the outline. So that is kind of the course, let's say the beginning form. Now here, what I will do is create another page, probably. And the first one I will say like it's the outline. Okay. Inside this, I could actually create other pages, and I'll show you how to do it. Now here, for each day or each class that I take, what I can see or what I can do is like click on this and let's say create day 1. And I should also give a title for the day. For example, Introduction to WordPress, because if you don't give the introduction, how we're going to start with it. Now, in each section that we start with the Notion, we could just do a slash and we could create each type of heading. And it's not like search engine, so it's not like that you have to have only one H1. You can have multiple H1s, and whatever the multiple H1s that you take, you can also create, let's say, a table, outline actually of the whole page. We can get it. If I search for table, I will find the table of contents. If I place this, the outline for the page will appear at the top automatically. Okay, so that is the first thing that I do. The next thing, let's say I'm working with a note taking, and or let's say a class. So for the first thing, I would put at links, because in a class we will share lots of links, lot of things that we find. So that will go in the first section. It could be any link, could be the link to introduction to ourselves. So see, like whenever I put the H1, it's automatically creating the link for the outline. So anyone who comes here, let's say they missed a coding part or anything, they could just look into the outline and just click on there and go there. Now similar can be done with HackMd as well, or even Workflowy. We'll see one by one. Okay, now once we create the links, if I do a enter, it will actually allow me to write something. We could just write here and everything goes into the links. Now here, what I want to do is have let's say bullet or unordered list, not the numbered list, but let's just keep it like this. Now this is my links are done. Now the next thing I'd like to have like the H1 again, and write bunch of heading text and show you right after this. Now I have written H1 for coding. Now at the end, I don't want to type something here, but I could just put an X. It's fine, and then put again the slash and pick H1 again and write the other heading. So similarly, I will just go on and make my template. Now I have created my heading sections, as you can see. So this is what I can think like this is kind of a template that you can use. If you have more sections, you can add. And also in one section, for example, we're doing coding, and inside the coding, love to go inside further. Let's say it is a coding of CSS. Now inside the H1, I'll put H2 there. I'll say like CSS coding, because it's WordPress, so it could be CSS, or we could say advanced CSS. I made a mistake there. Try to do an undo if you make a mistake. Advanced CSS. That's it. So inside this, I could write some stuff, and then I could do again the slash and say code block. and whatever the code comes in, I could just put it there. Now you see, like in the coding, I have the advanced CSS section. So this is how you can organize the subsection and so on. There are so many things that you can explore. You can even search for the Notion and see the full features. Share with specific people. What I can do is click on share and then type their email and invite them to see this. What we can do is create a Google Groups and probably share the whole thing with the Google Groups. That would be very useful. So I don't have to share each one of the emails, but a group of people. So that is a very nice trick. If you need to know how to create Google Groups, just search for it. You'll find it, how to create Google Groups. Then if you want to share this with public, you just go to publish section and then click on publish. That's it, and it gives you a link. Usually whatever links that I find or create, I usually keep a note in my OneNote or in Workflowy. So I will copy this link, I will paste it here. So this is the link. Anyone just types in and they will see it. So this is our OneNote training. You can think of like it's done. Okay, so now I will show you how to take notes in HackMd, Workflowy, and other platforms. So far we have seen how to take notes in Notion. I think this similar technique also applies in OneNote as well. These are all similar. You have to organize in a way. Now I did make a mistake there, so probably we don't need the outline, because but probably we can. Now the trick is, like if we have days, 10 days, 20 days, now it is better to have one outline there, and then we could list, or I mean make each item list from each one of the day. So let's say I say like day 1 something, and I want to, let's say, link it, and I could click on here and could say link to this one. Now when I click, I'll come to this. Now instead of saying day 1, I think it would be best to say day 1 and whatever the title is, and then link it. It's best, because whoever comes in here, they also need to know what the class is about, because if they don't need the class, it's just a waste of time for them, and we do not want to waste time whoever is taking the class or course. So that is very important. So here I also put bullets there. So if I share this one with my team or anyone, it will look more professional. So they will just see the outline. We could also name like what is the outline is about. We could say like what press Elementor course. And now once we do the publish again, unpublish and publish, sometimes it does not update. It looks better. So whoever sees it with this link, they will know like this is the thing that they have to work on. That's it. Now I will move to Workflowy. Now this is Workflowy, and Workflowy is not paying me to showcase this, but for our training purposes, Workflowy is kind of required, or it would be very useful. First time I saw this when I was in Crossover, I saw managers were paying for this tool to use it, and then it got my attraction. And for free you can create 250 items in a month, which is all right, but does not actually solves all the problem. You need more, and to solve this problem, what you can do is refer to more people, and you will get 100 items for per refer. And below down the video in the description, you will find my reference link. If you create the account, I'll get 100 items per month for free. So this is how I use it for free. This is the technique, but if you have lots of money, you could pay this monthly. It's a great tool, very good tool. So I will teach you how to use it. Now here, each time I create a Workflowy account, I create these two nodes. One is the shared account, another is the personal. So whoever shares a node with me from Workflowy to my account, I usually keep it in the shared node section. Whatever that I create under this account, I keep it in the personal section. So that is kind of the deal that I have. So if I have to make this one, so let's say I make shared accounts v2, and if you share a node like this with me, I will put it here, drag it and put it here. It will be on top, but I will drag it here. Now the next thing is the private or personal, I could say, and inside this I have my items. Usually the idea in Workflowy or Xmind or mind mapping tools is that you should write short. Why you should write short is that too much word actually clouds your judgment and also does not help you to memorize stuff or take the decision very quicker. And why these are called as mind mapping? Now the terms actually comes from the map. If you see the map, if you zoom out, you can see where things are, like blue is like ocean, green is like forest, and things like that. So the idea is like the higher level, as you go up higher, you will see the top level nodes, and which actually gives you the glimpse of what's inside. As you go inside, you will get more detailed version of the node. You can zoom in and zoom out. That actually makes your decision making ability faster, enhance your thoughts, and so on. Okay, now these are like the note taking skill as well, but we need this tool to take our courses. This is very effective to share with anyone or taking courses. Now the trick for mind mapping, or like making any business idea or any idea that pops into your head, you just start, let's say I want to make the presentation. I've wrote it, and what the presentation is about. Let's say it is about note taking. Now this is where your mind could cloud your judgment. That means if you think too much and think like I'm going to write a perfect statement there, you are never going to write your first note. So whatever comes to your mind, always write it. So first I started like writing a text in my PC, and from there I thought like I should take a note-taking session. So that's why I started in this session actually. So far we have discussed like whatever that comes to your mind, you should write it. It should be very disorganized. Any thoughts, write it. Whatever that comes to your mind, write short, not too much. If you need too much, just break it down to each one of the nodes. Okay, now you can zoom in here. As I've said, like if you don't want to see the presentation what's under it, you could just write it like this. If it is the presentation for note taking, you just write in the top level as well, because if you have multiple note taking you will be confused. You could do that as well. Now if you want to see what's inside the presentation note taking, you click on this button, or you could just expand every one of these by clicking on these two buttons and then expand all. Okay, now each one of the item also works as like a checklist, but you could also create checklist here. You could say to do items. You can just click on here and you could just do a to do items, but each one actually works as a to do item. And let's say if note taking is done, you could make it as a work item or to do item, and you can just click on you can just click on there and click on complete, and there is a shortcut Ctrl Enter, and that will enable and disable this. Now this is the feature. You could also copy paste the whole nodes to here to there. You could also mirror those. Mirror means like whatever that is written in one section, that would be mirrored in other section. So there is this feature. I don't use it, so don't know much about it. You can try this out and see like what happens. And move feature is like moving one node, root node, one place to another. Okay, and we can also drag and drop these as well. Right now we have seen like we can expand this. Now we will see like how to zoom in. Now to zoom in, you can just click on this ball and it will zoom in. Now each section, now you see like where it is coming from, let's say breadcrumb. You can also share each one of the node section. Let's say I want to share the whole section where I am in, and I could share this with by email. I could just type the email. I could also select like can view only or like full access. That means they could modify this after adding it to their nodes. That is a way to go. Another is I could give them a link. Now this link I could share with anyone. With this has full access, they could modify. So this is risky because the link actually gives the full writing capability. So usually when I share a link, I put like can view only and copy the link and share it with others. Now if your link actually, let's say, shared with many people and you think like it's compromised, you want to make a new one, you have to just disable it and create a new one. It generates a new link and the previous one is gone. No one can access via the previous one. So this is another trick that you could use, but for now we don't want to share this. Just disable it, close it. Now if I want to delete the whole section, I could just select like this and come up here and just click on delete, or also Ctrl+Shift+Backspace deletes the node. It can be a big node. Ctrl+Shift+Backspace deletes the whole node. And this is kind of it, but again we could do a slash there again, and we could do bullets that you can see right now. We can do board, we can do to-dos. To-dos is like checkbox list, and also heading to paragraph as well. I don't recommend writing paragraphs here, but you can write now paragraphs. Codes from other people, codes as well. You could also upload files, but I do not recommend. Do not upload files because they will only give you 100 megabytes of free file storage. Never use it. Your account would full, so you cannot do much on it. My recommendation would be do not do that. If you want to share an image, the tool that I use, it's called the light shot. I could just go up here, take a screenshot and click on this. This creates an image link. I could just paste in here and click on it anytime and I could see the image. This way I do not take up the space from Workflowy. Okay, you can also paste YouTube links that will also create, say, thumbnail here as well, but I do not like it. It actually takes a lot of space. The idea of the mind mapping is that it should be short when I want them, it should be long when I want them. That actually bugs me a little bit. That's kind of not very cool about the tool. One more thing you could do is press Shift Enter, which gives you or allows you to take sub nodes inside the node itself. That means I could say sub node of this element, and you could do this similarly to here as well. Let's say you have like something more that comes with the node. You could also come up here and say like add node. Also what I did is Shift Enter, and this will allow you to add sub nodes, right? So this is how you could do it here. Now we could see like comments is similar as Google Docs. You can add like dates. You could export the whole thing. If you like to export, you could just come up here, say export. It comes as export. You can export as a Markdown. Other formats are available. You can copy this and paste it wherever you like. You could share like this as well. Now the next part is comparison. So if you want to compare, let's say I want to compare between animal and tree. Let's say I write the things in here and then I click on the bubble, I get in. Now inside the bubble I will change the layout to, this is actually bullets, and I will change it to board. And from here it's actually inside the animal, and I could say animal, and here I could say tree. So you can see like you could write multiple items and compare. Can they walk? Yes, this is a comparison. They can walk. Can tree walk? No, this is a comparison. They cannot. So similarly you can write other features like drinking water. Yes, same will go for here. Drinking water. Yes, and so on. So similarly you can make more comparison. I really like it to make other comparisons with this tool. It's really handy. Now once you take the comparison or nodes, you can actually come back by clicking on this like breadcrumbs. You can come back like where I were. Anytime you are on the top root node, you could also zoom out and see like what the comparison is. You can also write more comparison as well with the similar phase, and this can also be shared. Really nice tool, very handy. I really love this stuff. You could also make tags here. You could say like ALIM, and somewhere you could say
You could also again say ALIM. Now you could just click on ALIM and see like where these are repeated. Okay, so really nice and handy feature. If you want to remember something by tags, this is a very good way to go. And you could also make this favorite. You could also install this in your mobile. I have this on my mobile, so anytime I have a good thought or note-taking ideas, I just go up there, also give a voice, and it becomes a text. And when I come to PC, I work with the item. This is really handy. Now, why we are here is that for class, what should we do? So for class, we follow the similar structure. So let's remove the whole item so far. Select every one of them, one of these. That's bad, actually. Ctrl+Shift+Backspace removes it. I say like note taking for taking classes. What we need similarly, we need the link section. Second, we need the videos. If we have any videos, we could have rather than links. Videos are also linked, but try to have a division so that it's useful and helpful for whoever sees it. And then we could have like important section, important, or we could say, what did we have before? We could say a caution or important that let's say there is a thing that if students do during the training, it could fail their training or they could miss it. Most of the people missed it, so that will go into the important section. And then the assignments, we could again do the assignments and so on. You can see mistakes, summary, and so on. So either one that you follow is absolutely fine. So here usually the short version thing should go in here. If we have like detailed version of the notes text, then we will choose Notion or HackMd. Before we wrap this up, I missed one more part to show you guys, that is the coding. So I've added like assignments and summary, and here to add any coding, we could just type the code block and type the code here. Okay, so this is how you can keep the codes in Workflowy, even though that's something that I do not recommend. For coding, you should use HackMd or Notion. But one problem with Notion is the links are really not good. That is the problem. But I really like the links from HackMd. So for this reason, I prefer HackMd better. And sometimes the Notion actually breaks its consistency. If you copy paste this stuff from some website, it actually breaks the HTML and you cannot fix the note. So that is kind of a downside of Notion. If you guys know it, let me know in the comment if you have faced it before. I will go to the HackMd right after this. Let's move to HackMd now. So here I am in my HackMd, and here you can actually come up here and click on the folder tab and press new folder and create some folders and put your documents inside the folder. That is really nice. That is a new feature that was not there when I started using HackMd. Now let's start with a note. Now to create notes, I should click on the create new note after I log in or create my account. Let's do it. Now here it is mostly Markdown driven, so you should know the Markdown, how to work with Markdown and so on. You could also bring your Markdowns from GitHub or from other places. You could just copy paste and it will work. I will give you a little bit of glimpse about Markdown, but not too much. You could just Google search and see another video where the deep down of the Markdown is there. But I think little bit what I will give you, that's enough to proceed with, to take notes and share with your students. That's enough, I believe. So here you could see also the bars are there, like the Word or the other GUI tools. So you could just click on header and you see like the header comes up here. As you have seen in the Notion, we do slash and take the header 1. So similarly, we have like this first hash means the heading 1. If we do double hash, that means heading 2, triple hash heading 3, 4 hash heading 4, and up to heading 6 we have. Okay, now let's say if I am taking the similar note, let's say day 1, need to have a space there, that is important. Day 1, let's say WordPress Elementor basics, something like this. So this is my training first day of Note started. Again, similarly, I should create another document that says like outline, and in that outline all this document that I'm creating every day, that should be linked. So students should have the outline document, and from there they could actually visit all these days that the class has been presented. Okay, this is very important and very helpful for whoever takes any training. Now similarly, I will make the second header for the links and next header for, let's say, important section, and in between we could have like the videos link if we have any, then we could have the coding section, then we could have summary, and in between the assignments. Okay, we could just give some text here and there to see like how it looks like. We could also paste any image here and there, and it actually generates a link automatically in terms of Markdown. But I will tell you, if the image is like very important, don't do it. Don't paste it directly, because it gets obsolete after some time. You do not find the image anymore. It uploads the image to image.gur site free, so sometimes the images gets removed, so be aware of it. Try to use, let's say, Lightshot. I've been using Lightshot for quite some time. I haven't seen any link to be removed so far. You can say like you could use Lightshot, that is better. But if you are in a hurry, let's say if you want to have the image temporary, you could just take a screenshot like this and paste it anywhere. It should upload the image. See, the image is uploaded. Now this is all right. Sometimes they have some limits or things like that. Now they upload to HackMd itself, but previously they did upload to image.gur. Now once you actually upload the image, you could actually give it a title like what the image is about. This actually makes it readable for the search engine, or in future when you come, if the image is not there, you could actually recognize why you have done it there. Okay, now if you want to just focus on writing, and here Markdown, you could just click on this and then proceed further. But if you also want to see the view preview, how it looks like, or also only the preview, so it looks like this. Also, as we create the subheaders, we see the outline here. This is really nice, similar to Notion, but it's in the Markdown format, very readable. It does not have a way of breaking it. So if you have any links, let's say so far these links, if I want to copy, I could just go up there, and I use this Markdown copy shortcut. I could just click on these 4 links to be copied and come up here and paste it there. Now you can see like how a Markdown link is created. Usually the first thing is the title of the Markdown, and then parenthesis contains the link of that site or the place that I want to visit. So this is how the Markdown links work. And if you just put the hyphen there, that actually creates the bullet points. If you want to create number list, you write 1 and then you write something. You write 1 and then you write something, and then you could just press enter, it will be 2. But usually for the Markdown convention, if you keep 1 again, it will be 2. And the idea behind the 1 is that you don't have to care about what comes next. Let's say this D needs to be in the middle. You just put it there and it will again reorganize the number. So that is the proper Markdown format. But to make things easier, they actually make it 2, which is not correct, I believe, which also solves the problem. Okay, let's just put it there then. Usually that's what I learned, like keeping 1 always is good because you don't care. Now I think the Markdown is fixed, or somehow they have additional programming done to display it like this. So you can just press enter to see the numbered list. You can also make any item link by putting the third brackets and then parentheses. This is a link, you see. Now you can just provide a link in here. Also you could make the headers link from here to there. The way to make it is like header, and then I could like links probably. Let me see. Let's give it a shot. I'm here, and if I click on there, yes, it worked. go anywhere and create a link like this and give a hashtag and header that you want to move. You can just provide it there and it will move there. Also, you could find the link by going up here. You can just click anywhere. You could see like what is created after the hashtag, copy it and put it in the link, and it will work. This is the trick. I believe this is kind of the enough Markdown that you need to know in order to take notes. There are some other things. Markdown is usually HTML, so if you paste HTML, it should work, but usually it's not recommended to paste HTML into the Markdown. You should use the Markdown format. So image we have seen, link we have seen. We also have to-dos, that means the checklist, and you could just give it a shot on like this, checklist like this. The checklist has like the third brackets and space in between, and you could like do like this, and if I click on this, you see like the check boxes. So anytime that we click on it, it puts an X in there. X means that it's checked. Without the X means it's not checked. So this is how the checkbox is done in Markdown. And the coding, if you want to share a code, the best practice is to use this and then the language name. For example, if I'm writing a JavaScript code, I would put JS. So you see some of the autocomplete there. And equal means like keep a line numbers as well. Equal means, let me give an example. So here you can see like the line number. If I don't give the equal, you see no line number. I could say JSON as well. I could say go. I could say Golang. So if you could say func main, you can see like it's getting up. It's kind of the end for HackMd, Markdown, and how to take notes. Anything more you need, let me know in the comments. See you in the next video. Bye bye.